Hello everyone, and welcome to my Days of Lies official channel. I hope everyone is having a wonderful day. Before we begin, please hit the subscribe button and give this video a thumbs up. Theo fought back tears as he read the newspaper item about Abe's death on his tablet at the Salem Inn. Eli rapped on the door. "Did you read the newspaper?" "They say my father is no longer alive," Theo explained. Lenny entered in the door as Theo mourned the fact that he was losing all the people he cared about. "You haven't lost me, Theo," Lenny assured him. Lenny soothed Theo with a hug. Lenny revealed that the prison had granted her a leave of absence in order for her to attend Abe's burial. "I'm sorry I wasn't there when Dad went missing the first time. And I wish we could have waited together, or maybe I could have assisted in finding him," Lenny remarked. "There's nothing you could have done that Steve, John, or Rafe didn't try," Eli reassured Lenny. Theo concurred. "We must look after one another, because that is what Dad would have preferred," Lenny explained. Lenny smiled as she explained about how she had held her children outside of the prison walls when Theo asked about Jules and Carver. Lenny stated that rather than subjecting the babies to the funeral, they had left them with Valerie. "We told them what happened, but they didn't seem to get it, which is a nice thing for the time being," Lenny explained. Outside, fireworks erupted, and Theo realized that it was Eli and Lenny's wedding anniversary. "We decided not to celebrate this year," Eli explained. "Because of Dad," Lenny continued. Theo was not convinced. "You should celebrate because of Dad. You know how excited he was about you and Eli," Theo countered. Lenny sobbed and stated she couldn't celebrate without Abe. Paulina sat on the couch in her robe, staring at the wall. Channel entered with a bouquet of flowers. "Put it with the others," Paulina said absent-mindedly. Channel studied the card that John and Marlena had given her. "They were crazy about Abe." "I'm sure they're grieving as well," Paulina remarked. Paulina wanted to send something to John and Marlena, but Channel advised her to focus on herself instead. Channel suggested that Paulina shower and recover after a food delivery. "Not at the moment. Getting dressed right now reminds me of wanting to look my best for my sweet husband," Paulina explained. Paulina invited Channel to join her at the table. After a few seconds of stillness, Paulina grieved the fact that she had caused Abe so much pain. "All the love and support you gave him more than made up for any heartache you caused him. He was crazy about you," Channel explained. Eli and Lenny came to the door. Channel exclaimed as she noticed them. "What exactly is it now?" Paulina mumbled. Lenny came in and Paulina yelled in delight. "My darling, precious little girl." Paulina yelled as she closely hugged Lenny. Despite the tragic reason for the visit, Paulina expressed gratitude to Lenny for being home. "I am overjoyed to be free, even if only for a short time, so that I can be here for my mama, sister, and brother," Lenny explained. Lonnie admitted that she did not believe Abe had left. "It simply does not make sense to me. Maybe, partly because we didn't get to say goodbye to him. He was never seen or touched. And how are we expected to have a dignified send-off when we don't have a body?" Paulina screamed. Eli pointed out that there was no guarantee that the police would find Abe's body. "They didn't take long to declare him dead, did they? Even though there is no evidence to prove it," Lenny grumbled. Lenny inquired about the evidence. "That is against company policy." "But given the circumstances," Eli remarked, "I'm sure Rafe wouldn't mind." "I don't care whether he minds. Can we leave now?" Lenny inquired. Lenny was encouraged by Paulina not to spend her wedding day. "Nothing you find at the police station will bring Abe back to us," Paulina said. "I have to see that evidence for myself, or I will never sleep again," Lenny remarked. Eli reminded Paulina that she would be unable to persuade Lenny to change her position. Lenny kissed Paulina go. Channel mentioned that she needed to go to the bakery and inquired if Paulina would be okay by herself. I guess I'd better get used to it. Don't you think so? Paulina explained. On the docks, John gazed at an Abe memorial. Abraham. John yelled. Abe entered the docks wearing a robe. "Hello, John," said Abe. John burst out laughing, relieved. "I knew I'd find you," remarked John. "I can't stay," Abe admitted. Abe said John farewell. Abe walked away as John screamed for him. With a start, John awoke in his bed. Marlena reached for a towel to wipe the sweat off John's brow and neck. "Another one of those damn nightmares," acknowledged John. When Marlena asked John if he wanted to discuss his dream, he told her what had happened. "No wonder the dream was so upsetting for you," Marlena observed. "Paulina trusted Steve and me to find him, and I let her down." "I let Abe down," John said. "You were being too hard on yourself," Marlena pointed out. John shook his head and stated he couldn't imagine Abe walking to the river on his own. The only person who has seen him in the last 2 weeks. Finally, someone notices Abe. What happens next? He falls off the dock and drowns in the river the next minute, John explained. While Marlena dressed, John reflected on a previous chat with Abe. "Where were you just now?" Marlena inquired. "I was thinking about the moment I realized I wasn't the person I thought I was, and how my entire existence, as I knew it, had altered in an instant. And then there was Abe. There was one constant in my life, and that was my friendship with Abraham," John explained. John bemoaned the fact that he had not always been as good a friend to Abe as Abe had always been to him. "Yes, you were," Marlena informs John. "He always knew that about you." Frustrated, John stated that he was certain he would have found Abe. "And I was so damn wrong," John said quietly. After a brief pause, John apologized. "I've been talking about myself, and I know you're going through this, too," John admitted. Marlena admitted she was sad, but it didn't mean John couldn't express his feelings to her. "The only way we're going to get through this, and I mean beyond the two of us, the only way we're all going to get through this," Marlena remarked. She walked into Whitley's apartment with the morning paper. The cover featured a narrative about Abe's death. Abe rolled his wheelchair into the room as Whitley tried to hide the paper. "What exactly are you doing with that piece of paper?" Abe inquired. Whitley admitted that she had intended to dispose of the paper before Abe saw it. "I don't like being handled," mumbled Abe. Whitley made up a story about someone drowning at the docks. "I feel sorry for the family and the man, but I'm not falling apart," Abe stated. Abe extended his hand and requested the paper. Whitley declined. Whitley contended that she didn't want the story to disturb Abe and cause him to have another seizure. "You know, you're not the only one going through this." "I'm terrified," Whitley admitted. "I apologize, Paulina. I wasn't thinking at all." "I know this is difficult for you," Abe replied. Whitley told Abe that she couldn't live without him. "This is something I'm doing for you." "This is the best thing for you," Whitley remarked. After Whitley prepared for work, Abe acknowledged that when Whitley was gone, he felt lonely. "I thought you were catching up on body and soul," Whitley inquired. Abe indicated that he still wanted to speak with someone with a nod. "Couldn't Theo come over and hang out with us for a while?" Abe inquired. Whitley informed Abe that Theo had left for South Africa. Abe was taken aback that Theo had left without saying goodbye. Whitley lied and said Theo had stopped by, but she didn't want to bother Abe when he was sleeping. "You really should have woken me up," Abe stated. Whitley expressed regret. Abe inquired about Channel. Channel had wanted to see her step Pop-Pop, but she was too busy in the bakery according to Whitley. So another day spent staring at the walls, mumbled Abe. Whitley reminded Abe that he needed to watch his soap drama. Whitley told Abe, with a grin, that bad girl Lorna was about to return to the program. Thanks for watching. If you like this video, so please don't forget to subscribe my channel and don't miss any updates.